Sonic Mania video. We're trying to beat Sonic Mania without touching red. Yeah, seems like it'd be impossible. I mean, I completely agree, but without touching green is harder. So I'm gonna start off by picking Tails because he's the best. But for the rules of this run, the tail parts and that part does not count. And when it's boss time, that doesn't count either. And sort of the boss, if you touch red during the boss, then it doesn't really matter. And checkpoints are going to be the death of us because I don't want to risk accidentally getting one of those pixels. Yeah, I know, buddy. But it's not going to be pixel perfect. It's okay if I hit some pixels because it's impossible to get it pixel perfect. But let's get right into the video. Okay, let's begin the video. So first up is Green Hill Zone, and it's just so hard. I mean, you have to fly over checkpoints, so you have to do the whole run in one go, which is really hard. And there's checkpoints everywhere where you don't want to hit them. So if you hit one, you have to go all the way back to the beginning and restart. And I think this might count as touching the checkpoint. I'm not going to count it as that because I don't think I'm touching any red. But like, if you just crouch down, I think that might count as touching it. But it's not pixel perfect, so it doesn't really matter. That's what it is in my book. But it's so annoying, and right before the boss multiple times, like one time, that's my multiple, I hit the checkpoint, and I hope I didn't hit that crab meat too. But finally, the boss! I've been waiting for this. It is super hard. Well, technically not because I can touch it. But even if I couldn't touch the red on the boss, the only hard part would be the nose. That'd be the only hard part, the dodge, because the redness is like an orangey red, so it doesn't really count. It doesn't count in my book. But let's move on to Act 2, and Act 2 should begin. So, Act 2 time. It's annoying. At the start of Act 2, there are some springs which are red, and I try not to touch it, and you have to fly up in order just to get up there. I mean, like, how hard is that? Like, super hard. Don't even know how hard. You okay there, Tails? Once we get past that part, we hit a checkpoint because I'm an absolute noob at this. And there is this downslope part which takes you down a loop-de-loop, and then you hit another checkpoint because I failed again. And then when you take the lower path, you're gonna find out that there are hidden guys with red eyes and red boosters with red pixels. I know I said not pixel perfect, but there's too many pixels. But did I even make it? No. I think this game is going to be mocking me at how terrible I am. Yeah, probably. But Act 2 isn't too hard. The crab meat bonked me into the checkpoint once, and I did not like that. But after carefully just missing the crab meat, just barely, I can finally get to the boss. And the boss, it's easy, it's normal. And then we move on to Chemical Plant Zone. And it's Planty Rue, and it is way harder. Lots of twisting paths. The only problem to it is there is a bunch of red changing little buttons on most of the objects, but I said not pixel perfect, so I don't care about that. I did the little neat shortcut at the death trap, which would have worked better if I had Sonic, to be honest. But like, it isn't too hard. I mean, I thought the grabber hurt me, so I thought that count. But then I realized later on it doesn't count, so I took the upper path because I was being a noob. And then you want to know what happened again? I don't know, but I got to the boss. And the boss, just the normal mini boss. Not hard at all. Do you know what would make it hard though? No rings, but I don't care about that because that's not what I'm doing. Come on. And then we get to the second act, which only gets harder. Crazy. And I hit that red spring, which is okay for now because I didn't win it for so many tries until I realized way later on that I was touching red the whole time. Just look at Sonic's reaction. He'll give you a good answer on what you need to see. Thank you, Sonic, for being on the show, and I'm glad you liked what I accidentally did and realized later. But Act 2 is like one of the hardest zones in the entire game. It's just too hard. Like, I haven't found one point in this zone that is completely easy, but I realized later that I was touching red, so I dodged the red, so that's a win in my book. And then, you want to know what happened? I got stuck. And there's a checkpoint right here, and there's no way to progress forward, so I guess this is the end of the video. Except that it actually isn't. But like in Mirage Saloon Act 1, I mean, like, you'd be touching red almost the whole time. Technically not in Mirage Saloon Act 1, but like in Act 2 there's these down slopes with like reddish brown, so it's like impossible. And like, how are you going to get through Titanic Monarch out of all zones in the game? Because the floor is completely red. How are you going to be dodging that? But there is some green platforms that you can land on to fly higher sometimes, occasionally, but it's not possible. So you cannot beat Sonic Mania without touching red. But this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed and see ya!